Hello, YouTube. Today I'm gonna be basically looking over at the Dark Souls 3 trailer. I'm really hyped about it. Have enjoyed the series ever since I picked up the first game. I have to say that in some respects, I'm kind of disappointed that I still have not played Demon Souls. It is probably the only game spiritually in the spiritual line of succession, aside from the games that are related to each other, that I have not played. However, I can honestly say that I am extremely excited to see and play this game when I get my hands on it. Unfortunately, since I'm a new YouTuber and probably not as famous as the other guys in the community, I was not able to play the network test. However, I've played the series ever since it came out, aside from Demon Souls. I picked up the game on a whim because I was just so tired of a lot of the games that had been coming out. And somebody had pointed out that this game was a difficult game to play. So I said, well, I would like a challenge for once, after all these games have been holding my hand for so long, and I am getting so tired of that. So, this isn't the first time I've seen the video, but I'm gonna basically put it up. Like I said before, I always end up pointing on the wrong side whenever I do these videos. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this, and I am not an expert in lore for all that I know of this game, even though I played it a ton and I know a lot of the story. But if there's anything that catches my eye, I'll be glad to tell you guys what my impression of it is. Yes, unfortunately, this is another React video in a way. Don't like to... Technically, that's what most of the videos on YouTube are, but you know what? Eventually, I plan on doing some more original programming. So let's go ahead and watch this anyways. You've probably already seen it, but if you watch my channel just for this, then thank you for watching.
It is called Lothric.
Another L
where
land.
The transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north?
See, the way that these characters are put together interests me a lot, because what I start to think about it is what they've told us so far is that old people that have linked the flame are now have now risen and are going to do something. But I think some of these pilgrims are actually maybe people that have successively linked the fire, and there are so many of them over the timeline that some of them are not as strong as others, and not as legendary. You know, some of the quests weren't as legendary as the people that you played in Dark Souls. I'm thinking to myself, maybe the world itself had several events retaining in the chaos and the linking of the flame, and all these people are coming to Lothric just to converge on this great big event. That's why they're basically pilgrims. Now, I'm not sure why they have those stones on their back, but maybe if we remember correctly, in Dark Souls 2, there was something to do with sins. Maybe there's a reason why they're wearing that. Maybe they knew something that we did not, that they might go crazy or something, and the reason they're wearing those stones is to stop themselves from really screwing up. Anyways, let's continue. I know I'm coming up with all these outward ideas that may not make any sense, but let's go on.
The pilgrims discover the truth of the old words.
They start talking about pilgrims right there. And then we're treated to an opening shot of...
The fire fades. And the lords go without thrones.
See? They're all covered in fire. That's what I'm talking about. These people might have actually done that before. And they're not as strong as the other lords that we're basically fighting against. Sort of like tears, you know.
When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls,
Of course.
unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves.
And of course, we see the lords moving, but this I don't think is one of the lords. I think it's one of those things that we saw in the trailers from other
Saint of the
channels.
deep.
Yeah, the darkness would be something else. Maybe this has something to do with Manus and his curse.
Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers.
Abyss Watchers, Artorius's followers, maybe? They all got and of course,
And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital.
the giant from one of the giants from Dark Souls 2.
Yon the giant.
Interestingly enough, he's a giant, and this probably has nothing to do with that, but he looks like Gwyn. I mean, the armor looks like it in some respects. See, look at his crown right there. You see the crown right up there? That crown up there is very similar to Gwyn's. And if you remember correctly, Gwyn was supposed to be pretty big. He wasn't gigantic, but he was pretty big. But that aside, I guess they aren't related. I'm just grasping at straws here.
Only in truth?
Now, this has been pointed out in other videos. You can see the dark sign right there. There's plenty of ash going on there. And, of course, the Firekeeper. I'm not sure why this is considered... It looks like a crown, but it's supposed to cover her eyes, according to what we've seen through the artwork and through progressive trailers of gameplay. So let's go on.
The lords will abandon their thrones.
Interestingly enough, I wonder what thrones they're talking about. There is supposedly Lothric, one of the supposed lords, but I don't think that really is that guy. There's also artwork about him. If you're interested in looking that up, that's fine. Because it usually, even though they'll release artwork and other stuff like that, it usually really never spoils the story for you. I can tell you one thing, experiencing and spoiling a story for yourself doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to give you the same feeling. But that's me, not anybody who may watch this. So let's continue.
And the unkindled will rise.
So that's our new title. We are now the Unkindled. We are not the same as the previous two titles where we are undead. So technically we're alive, and kind of technically now we're sort of like reverse zombies. We're alive that can't be killed. So we don't go like undead. Let's continue. Sorry, I interrupt a lot sometimes, but I'm overviewing this thing here.
Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder.
Wait. That here a second. Let's move on here a second. Move back here.
Even to be cinder.
Do you see... I mean... Can you see that? That looks like, Artorius' lover. I forget her name. It sort of looks like her. I wonder if she also gathered followers in some respect.
And so it is that ash seeketh ember.
That is supposed to be the default night look for this series, much like the original one had the, I think it was the Light Knight set. And then you had the farm armor, that was the official mascot like Dark Souls 2. I'm not sure what this guy is called yet, but this guy is supposed to be the mascot for this iteration of the series. there we go. They start telling us about the thing like this. Now, if anybody does watch this and wants my recommendation, get the Steam version because obviously you're going to get a better version of it. You might even get a discount if they do an upgrade version like they did with Dark Souls 2. And maybe not, I can't remember. I didn't buy that. I made the mistake of buying it twice on a console. I am not doing that again. I am going to buy this on Steam. But that's my opinion. If you don't have a PC or just can't run it on a PC, then go ahead and get the console version. This is hopefully will be one of the great games of the year. Anyways, let's continue. I think that's about it. And there's the release date. Is there anything more interesting that we need to know on this thing right here? Not much. Ooh, that is a nice collector's edition. Alright. Anyways. Get back to this. So, what I think about this so far is it will probably be on par with Dark Souls 2, unless they knock it out of the ballpark like they did with Dark Souls 1, which I still believe is in feeling, the overall feeling that you got playing it, that was the best. When it came to certain involving mechanics, I would say Dark Souls 2 was a lot of fun to play, but it had its issues. I remember playing Dark Souls 2 and connecting with my friend was impossible. I hated that. Hopefully they fixed the connection issues, but FromSoft always screws up, just like Bethesda does with Skyrim, so here's hoping. Anyways, as soon as I get to play the game, I will definitely be putting up a review, and maybe put up a few videos of myself playing. If you liked my overview of this video, feel free to like, and if you would like to hear more about my opinions, go ahead and subscribe. I will continue to do what I can. Remember, this channel is dedicated to gaming, overviews on political and philosophical debates, and once in a while, news. I really wish I wouldn't have to go overboard on that, but everything needs to have an opinion. And, if you like my opinions, that's cool. You don't, that's fine. I'm not gonna do anything against you. I don't ever plan on blocking anything unless it's extremely horrible, but I don't really think I would do that. I'm completely pro free speech. So, anyways, take care, everyone, and thank you for watching. Peace out.